focused in on, I used to do that, now I do this. And it's in the connection of wanting to live a tenacious lifestyle, one that you can have where you feel like you're very connected. So using that tool, I used to do that, now I do this. It'll help with the conversation of what have you been doing good? To get those connections and get yourself revved up. This is what we can do to be able to believe in ourselves more. Because usually the brain, is telling us all the things that we didn't do well. But what if we decide that all that's in the past? Right now in the Rhonda Lou Moxy Show, it's about moving forward, your new identity. What can you do in your life if you decide that you're going to just like put a stopper on it, that you're going to not naysay yourself, that you're really going to update your software in your brain, allow your heart to open up more to you so that you're out there powerfully in your life, exactly the way that you see yourself. In those quiet times when you start doing your clean work, you're just like cleaning the brain, saying, no, 80% of these words that I'm saying to myself, they're just negative and I want to clear it out. The latest research is that 80% of the stuff that we're saying to ourselves is just what I would say hogwash. It's patterns. It's the way people looked at us, and it became this snapshot in our brain that we really believe this stuff. But if you take a step back, aren't you a better person than what you say, that what you think that you are? And you may be nailing it, but won't you nail it even more, quantum leap, do something better and different and bigger, global vision in your life so that you make a difference, a powerful impact with your business, in your family, with what you're doing in your lifestyle? All of this is like massively important, because if you are living a life that is straight up on your path, this is the path that I know, this is the one I'm staying with, this is the one that keeps me safe. Anytime you go off it, your nervous system shakes. But what if you have bigger goals and you know it? You know it. You know that you want to shine out there and something is muffling you. Why are you not able to get to where you want to get to? Is it because the 80% words that you're saying to yourself, you're like, I want to clear that? Again, in your quiet time, you feel your heart grow and you just know that you're out and up and ready for bigger things to happen. You're tired of the regular cycle. You want to live life in a different way. Maybe you want to travel more. Maybe you want to spend more time with friends. Maybe you want to spend more time with the family. Maybe you want to travel and see the family more. Whatever it is, think about, from the time that you walk into the show, how you want to be by the time you're done. These 30 minutes, we're just like infusing with all this information. Where do you want to be by the end of the time that you are at by the end of this week? Just by doing this week's work, by coming here every Monday, focusing on how you can get your Moxy. Focus on tenacity, where the energy is coming from. What I really see is that we want to have freedom, safety, and healing. Those are the 3 pillars I work with. I feel like this is so important. And if you have a business, when you start going and being in truth with all this, yes, this is mindset work. This is your first 250,000 in your business. When you nail that stuff, that means you're proving to yourself you're ready for it. But then you go deeper. And this is where you're making your next 250,000 to 500,000 in your business. Or if, say, you're working for somebody and you're looking for that next level up. Resilient, passion, innovative. Now, this goes along with freedom, safety, and healing, because the first level is right here. And today we're working on truth. But you can see how these columns can line up. Freedom actually goes along with resilient. Resilient is the next level up. And then to get to your next, which is up to your million. And I have worked with some people that are working towards making $1 million. Yes, this is all writing, because things just keep changing, keep evolving. But you get more in your creative space when you're living in that Moxy style. But this really is about business, lifestyle, and health. And freedom comes under business. Safety comes under tenacity. Healing, which is a lot about health, right here. Now, why these are important is not the dollar amount in itself, it's the moving forward. It's like using the words and creating what it means to you. So today, we're at the latter part now to get to freedom by talking about our truth. Last time it was about sexy energy. If you want to know more about that, you definitely want to tap in to my YouTube channel so that you get to be able to kind of hear some of these things about like where you want your energy to be and what sexy energy actually truly means. So I'm going to move on from that, but let's focus in on our truth today. Take a breath in and get focused on truth. What do you want for you to be in truth? Where do you want to spend your time to make sure that you're in alignment with truth? Like energetically, that you know that you really got this. And this is very important because if you don't know this, if your brain keeps telling you, oh, that would be nice if I had that. Oh, that just seems like a dream. Oh, that's just whatever. We want to quantum leap in our imagination so that we can make it real. But we have to visualize it. If you don't visualize it, then your body and your ideas and your creativity will not get you there. They will stay within your eyes, exactly what you can see. But quantum leaping is opening up and living that Moxy lifestyle. It's about opening up, about expanding, exploring, creating out here. So that when you come in narrow-wise, you can find all the low-hanging fruit to get you to your bigger vision. And we need bigger vision. So for the Rhonda Lou Moxy Show and the Fresh Inspiration, Fresh Talks Global Vision Show, this is about taking a step out of your body, making sure that you're nurturing it, making sure that you're nurturing everything that you are in contact with. That's the hashtag speaker locking arms is what we do. We're talking about how can we stop the blaming and shaming within ourselves so that we can stand out further for no more shaming and blaming in this world. So it's first about doing your own work, your own vision. So if we do hashtag speaker locking arms, and we move that as a feature, right there is the focus. We're talking about truth. Truth is so important, so important. We're talking about I used to do that. I used to do that. So let's get into some stories. But let's start thinking about how can, what our purpose is to get and create our purpose in the world, and what you truly believe is why you are here. And you may be uncovering that, but as soon as you know, the power of what you do will just explode. I was with a friend last week, and all of a sudden everything came to her, why she had a variety of things going on and how all those things could powerfully launch and make things bigger so she could make this big difference in this world. And when she finally realized that, her whole life all of a sudden changed, because when you realize you have so many features of you in your life, like everything that you've done, and you utilize all those components and use it all as one, using all the components you've ever done, And now you're starting to say, here, wait, all that stuff that I've been trying to tell everybody I'm doing all this kind of stuff. Now you say, here, wait, if I bring and leverage it all together, then that's going to be powerful. And it's almost like a calming. You finally see yourself. And when you start seeing yourself, there's so much magic that happens. That means you start explaining things in a different way. Anybody else hear me on this? How are you doing? How are you feeling about speaker locking arms? Meaning you are learning to stop shaming and blaming yourself. You're learning mindset strategies so that you move forward. This is what the Rhonda Lou Moxy Show is about. You're learning about your truth. And in your truth, that's what brings your alignment. And you learn every day to get more and more true. And nothing has to be perfect. You claiming it is that you really, really want it. And as a human being, we have quite a few things to clean up and quite a few things to move forward and forget about those things in the past so that we can move forward and nurture the space, this new path. So let's get into I used to do that, because this is powerful, because we want to work through this process of what are the things that I used to do that I can recognize how much I've been leveraging up. Because you may be in a cycle right now where you're just doing the same thing over and over because you're just feeling like this is all I know. This is all I know. And you may not even believe that that's what you're doing. But if you take a step back, when is it that you've done a new thing where you've really stepped outside of your comfort zone and got out of just your task list of things to do that your brain is telling you to do, but now you're getting into your creativity, you're opening up pituitary gland. And when you start doing that, your body, let me give you 25 years plus being in the health industry, your body starts healing because it rests. The nervous system starts calming when you bring all this into alignment. Every day that you have something going on, it's going to sizzle your system. It's going to affect your nervous system. It's going to affect the way you make decisions. It's going to affect the way you bounce off of things. And it's going to increase your emotional IQ, help you stay in things longer so that you move things forward, so that you speak to more about what's important to you, so that you open yourself up to the new possibilities. And sometimes when people say new things, instead of you going, oh, hogwash, don't even want to know about it, no big deal, you start leaning in, you go, here, what did you just say? That's something new. I haven't heard that before. So that could be, I used to do that. And now I do this would be that you're leaning in and you're starting to ask those questions. Instead of pushing everybody away and saying, I can do it all myself, or the stories sometimes go, oh, somebody's trying to, step into a lot of stuff I'm doing and, how dare them, when they're just trying to give you new insight on exactly what you do, exactly how you're showing up. They're just holding that space saying, I see you. Like, for example, we have over here this humanity project that we are envisioning and starting to grow bigger and bigger by working with bigger companies and building the speaker department. So we get people out there that are out speaking and sharing their global vision. Anybody a speaker, make sure that you are coming and finding out about the speaker program, because we are just jamming over here when it comes to being interviewed on podcasts. We're talking in person, doing speaking engagements. And so, then where you want to find that is right here. You're going to be able to find all the information right there. You can find your global vision. You can get in and start doing that. It's a 4-video series, and we can talk more about that. Okay, so what are some of the things that you have done in the past? You go, man, I still do these things, but you're not doing them as big, because some of the things that you've been doing in the past that weren't working, and you knew that it wasn't working, but it was just a pattern of yours, And maybe some people have even gotten mad at you over it. And it's like it's hard to get away from it because it's a pattern, but you haven't experienced this tool. I used to do that. Now I do this. Used to do that means that it's something that you want to walk away from. It doesn't feel great. It's been something that's been in your way and you're ready to move forward. To now I do this is you saying, okay, I'm ready to move forward. And I've noticed that I don't do this as much. And so when you claim it, somebody around you can say, well, you still do that. You go, yeah, that's how you deal with this. You go, yes, I know that. But I'm working on not doing that. Please let me grow and stop reminding me of that. But please catch me in my pattern. If I'm doing that, call me out on it because I don't want to do it anymore at all. But you're going to see me do it off and on. And you start getting people partnering with you on things. Like, oh, you got my back, I got your back. And you start partnering with people because they get to call you out on stuff and you get to call them out on stuff. And you have a safety net there. So you're helping each other grow in the emotional IQ. It's one of the hardest things to grow because people will remind you that you're not perfect because they're learning themselves. It's not that they're trying to do any kind of harshness around anything bad about what you're doing. I know some people have ill intent, but I hold the space that people do that because they are stuck in their emotion. They don't know how to show up. They don't know how to show up. Hi, Laura. Nice to see you, my friend. So we're on this. I used to do that, and now I do this. So these past weeks, I've been doing these videos, and I find it so powerful when we start looking at like how we've done our personal growth so that we can do bigger growth. We can expand and really look out to what are those bigger goals that we haven't called out ourselves out on that we're actually able to do, that we're in truth about this. But we got to be in truth. We got to know that we can get out of the old patterns and really create this new identity. So I was thinking about this morning. What are the things I've been talking about? I'll tell you what, I bet you deal with this. And if not, please tell me you don't, because I definitely, this means that this is like your superpower if you don't do this. I used to obsess about everything. Like I said, you can still have some of those qualities and you're working on it, but claim it. Something you did really big and it can still be showing up. Or maybe you totally cleared it, which is really divine. So in the middle of the night, I'd wake up and I'd be first anxious, because that's what my go-to is at that moment, because that's what I'm clearing. Not as much these days. So I obsessed. Whatever was happening. First thing was when I was a parent, and not that I'm not anymore, but like at the beginning, all of a sudden I started noticing, oh, it's a new thing for me to obsess about. Oh, you could have done this better yesterday and that better yesterday. And I put in my space of like, okay, this is a good thing because then I can show up in a new way for that day. But that obsession actually put me in a deficit, and that I owed and proved to everybody, need to prove to everybody that I was a better mom. But what was happening was I was in this deficit thinking, well, you need to do this like a parent. You need to do that. And so I would obsess and get in a cycle. And not just about being a parent. Think about business. Obsessed. Personal relationships. And the cycle goes on and on. Because your body, let's get neuroscience in there. Your body is used to that sizzle. So right when I wake up, what's my pattern? Okay, right on time, 2 a.m. You're doing it. Yep, this is great. And you know, inside, we're saying, I don't want to do this. I want to go to sleep. But your body's like, in your brain, the fight or flight brain's like, that's right. That's your pattern. We're doing good. We're on schedule here. This is great. But my emotion that's disconnected, really teaching me that I want to be doing something new and I want new tools. So we're going to talk about that so that I don't get obsessed. Because when I wake up, then I feel slumped and scared because now I have something to prove. Instead of waking up and doing my gratitude, feeling great and moving forward, I'm in a deficit every day. Now I'm spending hours and hours, or don't have enough time to reset my brain, because when I woke up at whatever time that was, it put me in a big deficit because I was trying to figure out, well, how can I do this better? So now the reason how we can claim now I do this is that sometimes when I wake up, whatever time that is, that I'll do that. But now I'm finding that I can hear myself do that. And I know it's a pattern of mine. So I want to stop it. And how I stop it is through whatever tool you use. Is it that you're trying to clear your mind? But you've been practicing this. So that when your sizzle is all on about being, having this obsessed kind of attitude, all of a sudden you're calming yourself. Or you're meditating, you're taking your body, you're going through your chakras, or you put something on just to kind of quiet and calm you, whatever tool you have, and you use that. And even if you don't do it in the middle of the night, because sometimes you can go right back to sleep and everything's fine. Even though you obsess, when I wake up in the morning, I have some things, I need some tools. You can do that right when you wake up. You can do it right before you go to bed. You can do it in the middle of the day, but find those tools that work for you. Quiet space. Reset of your adrenal gland. Maybe giving yourself 10 minutes to lay flat every day just to be quiet and reset so your nervous system isn't shaking. Now it's going to stop the obsession because now you can calm your nervous system. You start hearing things in your mind that have been cycles year after year that just keep building and building. As we age, we get more added on to the synapses in the brain, and we can have a mood for months, pissed offness, obsessed about something, because we have so many things going on. And so the brain will just keep going over and over the same stuff or new stuff. It'll just keep adding into the piggy bank of obsession. So now I use my tools. I used to do that. Now I do this. Think about where you have stuff that you've been dealing with. I love this. Okay, so let's see what we have, Laura. Yep, I'm spreading my wings. And I love this because I love the interaction. I know we have some people on YouTube also. Let's get in there. I'm spreading my wings too, Laura. Just you being here and stating that. It's like us partnering in what this journey really is about. This is what Mondays are about, is claiming this, bringing up our energy so that we know that we have the tenacity to step into it. And then I don't even edit my podcasts, LOL. You don't? I'll do sizzle reels, but yeah, I mean, like, because that's an obsession, right? It has to be perfect. And it's like, hey, however it went, it went. And you know what, Laura? I love what you're saying, because what I see is I have a humanity project, because let's talk about this. This is how we get out of obsession, is really finding and moving things forward. Is that I can see building this practice. I've been interviewing so many people on mindset matters through the Fresh Talks Global Vision. And I want you to think about this for yourself. What's the next thing that you can do that levels you up and that you feel like you can get a process going? And you've been doing this for a while. So for me, I've been interviewing a lot, 7 years of it, and just nonstop lately. So now I need a process so I can interview somebody every single day, and it doesn't disrupt my whole schedule like it's a summit. There's this big thing, but how can I cross market with people so that it grows what I'm doing and it grows with what they're doing? That's a big hashtag, speaker locking arms, because that now I'm doing my life work here. I'm making sure that I'm stopping shaming and blaming and partner with others for whatever their global vision is. So you see where this is going, is finding out what your biggest truth is. I have left a lot of that obsession behind. Laura, you're a rock star. So you used to do that, and now you do this. Excellent. Anything else, Laura, that you used to do that you don't do now? Yes, I have to claim myself in some areas. I know, totally. I just had my first year anniversary in May for my podcast. Laura, you are rocking it, because podcasting it's wonderful and fabulous to connect with people. It's like a mastermind, but it's also takes a new kind of vibe, a new energy that you have to exude out there. And Laura, with your personality, it has to be so much fun. I know one that I did. Tell me about this. We're getting close to the end of the show here, but I'm going to do one that used to put me in a big deficit, and it used to mess my nervous system up, put me in a high insecurity space where I thought everybody was talking about me and it wasn't good. And bringing in those people that were not healthy for me because they would do the same thing. Because if I was doing, I'll tell you what it is in a moment. If I was doing this thing, then that means I'm opening that energy for the people that accept what I'm doing. And it has to do with talking bad about people. Like I'm blaming everybody. And so I just want to put them down. So if I keep blaming everybody, then as soon as they leave the room, I'm going to, and then we talk bad about them. Did it all my life. Thought it was just the way of living. And it never felt good. I always felt such terrible stuff, but sometimes, I shouldn't say always, because sometimes it'd make me feel good. If I wasn't feeling good about myself, I would just go right down there and just do it. And I'd be, first it'd make me feel good because I'm like, oh, here, wait, I'm a better person than them because I was leveraging who's better. Nobody's better, but that's this. Now I do this. But think about, where are you in your life where you're seeing that you may be blaming your husband, you may be blaming a friend, you may be blaming everybody, you just don't realize it because you haven't learned to step away from that victim space, that space that just so doesn't feel good, but it feels good to the brain. So it's like, it's everybody else's fault. It's not mine. It's not mine. And I laugh about it now, but it's very scary. I have been called a Pollyanna because to look for the good in everything is what I have to work on at times. We're human, right? Let's keep claiming what we're working with. That becomes our superpower. That's where we get to help people. And you claim it. Yes, I have this issue, but I used to do it at this level. And I've learned and I've learned and I've learned. And I do it at this level. And I can hear myself now when I start blaming people. And sometimes in my heart, I'm like, I need to transition because I hear myself blaming somebody. And I don't want to do it. I don't want to stop. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm telling myself I need to change. I need to change. I need to change. And then my parachute gets deflated because blaming everybody. I'm like, yes, blame them, blame them. It gives me energy. That's like the negative energy. Talk about bringing your frequency down. And so then my parachute goes down, 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 and all the negativity. Who wants to work on that energy, right? We're talking about the Rhonda Lou Moxy Show here. So then from there, then I'm at ground zero or deficit. Anybody else here? Anybody else here? Come on. Telling me, oh my God, this is terrible, because you want to be in that total cycle. And this is, it becomes so bad that it feels yucky on your skin because now you're in the blame, which is awesome. It gives you the space to bring the energy in that you got this. So now you land that. You're like, here, wait. All of a sudden you realize I have the control to make changes in my life. Thank you, Laura. I got this. I got my back. Now your brain is creating new synapses, new pictures. Neuroscience is sharing that your body is starting to come in alignment. All of a sudden, you're creating energy in your energy bank because you can feel that you're taking control. Now your energy starts coming up. Now your parachute was like this, really, really big. And I used to do that, like, but it was all negative energy. And you're thinking, oh, I need this. I'm a badass. I'm a badass. You know, big ego. But I'm a badass in a good way, too, in a moment. Because once that deflates, because like, I have to take this on. Oh my gosh, I don't want to take this on. I don't want to take this on. Then you do. And then all of a sudden you go, here, wait. I can feel it in my heart. I can feel that I'm very powerful as a person. And you look at the next person, you go, you're powerful. You are powerful because you can feel it for yourself, and everybody around you, You are powerful. Feel that? Now your umbrella, we're at the end of the show here. We're getting close. Now the umbrella is big, but now it's not fluffed with all that low frequency that's like almost like upside down, ready to fall and tumble over. And, you can, and, Laura, we're talking about the Pollyanna stuff like that. When it flips over, you go, here, wait, it's going to come at me. It's going to come at me because something bad is going to happen. The way that you can work that is like, here, wait, I have the power. And you go around with everybody. So it's not just about you, but you can finally see you, like the true you. We're taking it from the beginning of the show. That's the true you. This is where we're going to end the show up here. Notice when you're not showing up for yourself. Notice when you are stuck and you're ready to deflate that negative energy because it's been so big lately. That happens. So it doesn't flip over, it doesn't get all wrapped in the storm that's all around, but you're going cohesively with your heart. Hashtag speaker locking arms. You're saying, I got your back. Everybody, I got your back. I'm loving on you. I'm not competing with you. When I talk to you, I don't talk down to you. I see you. I love your heart. I love you. And you start talking this talk that it won't leave you. You just love on things so much. And the gratitude is so big. This whole week is so big now because now we know that we deflated that negative ego, but we have created something, recreating the synapses in the brain, that soft stuff that's ready to be pliable. Now we're not thinking 80% negative thoughts that our brain supposedly does. We're recreating the new software. Now our heart is cohesive with the mind and we become all is one. This is the Rhonda Lou Moxy Show. Where is it that you want to show up for yourself? Because when you start using that tool in truth, hashtag truth, I used to do that. Now I do this. Where do you want to go with that? You're welcome, Laura. Where do you want to go with that? I appreciate and love you. Here from the beginning, let it build. How do you feel when you first came in to now we're saying goodbye? I hope this serves your week because that's what I'm here for. That's the only reason why I'm here, and not the only reason because it's expansive. What is your global vision? Make sure you use the rhondalibig.com/tree. Get into your global vision. Look at yourself even bigger. Use the 4 video series. Get yourself out there. Expand. Explore. I love you. If you want to be interviewed and you want to talk about Mindset Matters, give me a holler. I'm here. Rhonda at rhondalibig.com. You know how to connect with me. I appreciate you. Woo, woo. We did it. Monday, here we go. Rest of the week. I'll see you here next Monday as we get your quantum leap going because that's what this is about. We're not going to stop until we feel all full alignment. Does that mean we have to go for the rest of our life? I want to know about that. Anybody else know about that? Do we need to do this for the rest of our life? Or we're going to just step in and just keep making it bigger. Let's keep claiming. I used to do that, and now I do this. You're going to find me on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Be Connect. You're going to find me all over the place because that's exactly what you're doing too. You need to get out there. Hashtag speaker locking arms. Love you. Namaste.